Something big could be happening for the Los Angeles Chargers, and it might change everything. The question is help finally on the way for this team? After weeks of frustration, constant injuries, and offensive line chaos, there's a real chance the Chargers could make a smart move that actually stabilizes things. Let's break this down, because this update could mean a lot for their season. Before we get into the latest Chargers news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's get straight into it. Alright, Chargers fans, it looks like some help might finally be coming. And honestly, it couldn't come at a better time. The offensive line has been a complete mess, and with key guys going down week after week, the team desperately needs some reinforcements. One name that's starting to pop up is Evan Neal, the massive 6 feet 7 inches, 340-pound lineman from the Giants. Now here's what's crazy, he's been a healthy scratch in every game this season. So the question becomes, why not trade for him? You're not looking for a superstar to walk in and dominate. You just need a reliable body up front, someone who can protect Herbert and stabilize that collapsing pocket. Because let's be honest, the situation has gotten rough. Joe Alt is out, and from the looks of it, that could be a season-ending injury. It's brutal, but that's the reality. And it doesn't stop there. Mekhi Becton, Joe Alt, Trey Pipkins, Rashawn Slater, all battling through issues. The offensive line is just beaten down. So maybe it's time to make a smart move, something simple but effective. A late-round pick to the Giants could get you a solid lineman and give this team a fighting chance to keep things together before it's too late. The Chargers need bodies, they need protection, and more than anything, they need to act fast. Stay with me, because the next few updates could decide how the Chargers' season plays out. That's the kind of move the Chargers need to pull off, something simple but smart. You toss the Giants a late-round pick, maybe a 6th, maybe a 7th in a future draft, and in return, you get Evan Neal. It's the kind of low-risk trade that could quietly make a huge difference. Right now, it's not about landing a superstar, it's about survival. The Chargers need depth, they need strength, and most of all, they need someone who can step in now. Every snap counts when your offensive line is falling apart. But this issue runs deeper than just one team. Across the NFL, injuries are piling up like never before, and it's becoming a real concern. According to multiple reports and studies, the number of season-ending injuries has exploded in recent years. Why? Because the game itself has changed. Players are faster, stronger, and the field is more open than ever. 40 years ago, football was compact, tight formations, controlled collisions. Now, it's all about speed, spread formations, and massive hits from every angle. That means more awkward landings, more players rolling into each other, and more freak injuries that can end a season in an instant. A small twist, a wrong step, a wrist or ankle, and boom, you're done. It's hard to watch, and honestly, it's starting to affect the quality of the game we love. The Chargers are just one of many teams dealing with this brutal trend. And as the season goes on, this could separate the teams that survive from the ones that collapse. Stay with me, because what's coming next could tell us whether the Chargers can weather this storm or not. It's hard to find the right words for what's happening in the league right now. We all remember when concussions were the biggest concern, and while that issue still matters, the game has shifted in a new and dangerous direction. Players are flying all over the field, colliding from every angle, and it's become almost normal to see guys go down clutching their knees or ankles. And honestly, that's the heartbreaking part. These aren't just random injuries anymore, they're shaping entire seasons. Teams that looked unstoppable are suddenly hanging on by a thread. Take last year for example, the Lions had one of the most talented rosters in football, but injuries completely derailed their momentum. And now, we're seeing the same story repeat itself with the Chargers and so many others. It's painful to watch, especially when you know how much potential a team has. But here's the strange reality, as bad as it is, it's happening everywhere. Every single team is getting hit by this injury wave. A recent report laid it out clearly: the Titans, Jets, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, all dealing with major offensive line losses. Even teams that manage to stay healthy early, like the Bills, Lions, Seahawks, and Chiefs, are starting to feel the impact now. 4 out of 5 starting linemen for some teams have already gone down this season, and we're not even that deep into the year. That's how brutal things have gotten. The injuries aren't just part of the game anymore, they're starting to define it. Stay with me, because what's coming next might reveal how the Chargers can still fight through this chaos. It's unbelievable how fast things can change in this league. One week, a player finally comes back from injury, and the next, he's right back on the sideline, or worse, done for the season. It's a painful cycle that just keeps repeating. Look at what's happening now, players like Tyreek Hill, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and others all dealing with injuries or scares. The list keeps growing, and it's not just stars, it's everywhere. What's crazy is how different it feels from years ago. If you're old enough to remember, back in the day, injuries were rare headlines. You'd hear one big name was out for a week or two and the whole football world would react. Now, it's just another Sunday update. It used to be shocking to hear that a guy like LaDainian Tomlinson might miss a couple of games. That felt huge. But today, it's almost normal to lose multiple starters before mid-season. And we're only halfway through the year. There's still a long road to February, and some teams are already running out of bodies. It's starting to feel like survival football, more like the USFL than the NFL we grew up watching. It's tough to watch talented rosters crumble under the weight of injuries. When you know how much potential a team has, how much work and heart those players put in, seeing them go down week after week hits different. Stay with me, because the next part is where we'll talk about what this means for the Chargers and how they can possibly push through all this chaos. Man, the injury situation has just taken the joy out of the game sometimes, hasn't it? It's tough to stay fully in love with football when every week you're holding your breath, hoping your favorite player doesn't go down next. And it's not just football anymore, even other sports are starting to feel it. But in the NFL, it's different. These aren't small knocks or rest days, these are real injuries. Guys are out for weeks, months, sometimes the whole season. It's brutal, and it's changing the way fans experience the game. But here's the thing, as harsh as it sounds, this is the reality. Every team knows it, and every week is a fight just to stay standing. Look at what's happening across the league. The Broncos, for example, they just keep finding ways to win. 6 straight victories, out of nowhere. It's wild. And then you've got the Chargers and Chiefs, both dealing with their own struggles, trying to stay afloat in this storm of injuries and inconsistency. And that's the beauty and heartbreak of this league, everything can flip instantly. One moment you're on top of the world, the next you're fighting to stay relevant. Just ask the Packers. Last week, they were flying high after putting up 30 unanswered points against the Steelers, pure domination. Then, the next game, they come home feeling confident, ready for another easy win, and they get stunned. Their best offensive weapon, gone for the season. Just like that. That's how unpredictable this sport is. You can go from celebration to heartbreak in a single snap. Stay with me, because up next, we'll talk about what all this means for the Chargers' future and whether they still have a shot to turn this season around. That's exactly why in the NFL, every single win matters, no matter how ugly, no matter how close. You take it, you celebrate it, and you move on, because no one knows what next week will bring. The Broncos are riding high right now, stacking up wins, but in this league, momentum can disappear overnight. And honestly, it's tough right now watching what's happening to the Chargers. Injuries keep hitting, key players are falling, and it just wears on you as a fan. You start feeling like, when does it stop? Losing someone like Joe Alt, one of the most important players outside of the quarterback, is just crushing. You can feel how much it hurts this team. But as hard as it is, every team